I'm not gonna lie. I've been putting off telling this story for weeks. I keep thinking about it, and maybe writing it down will help me make sense of what happened. Last month, I was home alone for the weekend. My parents went to visit my aunt upstate, and I was excited to have the house to myself. I'm 17, and our house is in a quiet neighborhood where nothing ever happens. The most exciting thing is Mrs. Peterson's dog getting loose. Friday night, I was watching Netflix and eating leftover pizza that was probably too old. Phone buzzed with Snapchat notifications. My friends always spam the group chat. The house was deathly quiet, the silence pressing in on me. Then I got a message from a username I didn't recognize. Jake M 2007. It was a black screen with white text saying, "Nice house." I thought it was weird but ignored it. An hour later, another message. A photo of our street, taken from someone standing on the sidewalk. You could see our mailbox. I got that eerie feeling, like footsteps behind you at night when no one's there. I hovered next to the window for minutes, my heart pounding so loud I thought the neighbors would hear. I glanced out. The street was empty. I closed the curtains. The messages kept coming hourly. Pictures of our backyard, the garage door, the side of the house near my bedroom window. Someone was circling the property. My skin crawled every time my phone buzzed. I felt like prey under a silent gaze. I tried blocking the account, but the messages continued under new names like Anonymous, Watcher, and Your Neighbor, 23, all with similar photos. By Saturday afternoon, I was freaking out. I called my friend Marcus to come over, but he was at his girlfriend's place. I didn't call my parents. They'd worry and come home early. Saturday night at 11, I received a video taken from the backyard, looking up at my bedroom window. The light was on, and you saw my shadow moving inside. At the end, whoever was filming zoomed in on the window. I ran upstairs, turned off the lights, and my hands shook so much I could barely hold my phone. Then another message. "Why did you turn off the lights?" I grabbed a baseball bat from my dad's closet and sat in my room, wondering if I should call the police. What would I even say? I was too terrified to move. Every creak sounded like a threat. Around midnight, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was a picture of our front door, taken from 5 feet away. You could see the paint scratches where our dog used to jump. In the reflection of the door's glass, I saw myself in the living room with the bat, staring at my phone. The person taking the picture was inside our house. I don't remember much after that. I called 911 and hid in the bathroom until the police arrived. They searched the house. No one was found. No forced entry, nothing missing. They suggested I imagined it, stress from being alone. But I know what I saw. After that night, the messages stopped. The accounts vanished from Snapchat. No trace remained. When my parents returned the next day, I told them I had food poisoning. They never heard the real story. I still live here, but I can't stop thinking about that reflection. How long was someone inside before they took that picture? Were they watching me sleep? Ever since, I sleep with a flashlight and my door locked, paralyzed by the thought of intruders in my sanctuary. Every random notification still makes my heart race. Now I check over my shoulder in the house at night, incessantly. I never stay home alone anymore. I wonder if they're still out there, waiting for the next time I'm alone. I really need to tell someone what happened. It's been 3 months, but I still can't sleep properly. My dreams are haunted by nightmares of footsteps echoing down hallways. Every night I double-check the locks, heart pounding at the slightest sound. It started when I matched with someone named Marcus on a dating app. His profile pictures showed piercing blue eyes and a strong jawline. He seemed charming and attentive, always using emojis and complimenting my smile. We texted for days, shared memes, and talked about movies. We agreed to video chat. Marcus preferred to call late at night, around 2 or 3 a.m. He said he worked as a freelance sound engineer with odd shifts. Our first video call began at 2:17 a.m. His room was almost pitch black. Only a faint glow from his laptop screen lit his face. The bare walls and a small window behind him were the only visible details. When I asked about the darkness, he said he hadn't installed lamps yet. Over the next week, we spoke almost every night, but I noticed he would stare past the camera as if listening to something behind him. When I mentioned it, he laughed and said it was your imagination. I suggested meeting at the downtown coffee shop by the clock tower, but Marcus insisted I come to his place, promised to cook dinner and play games. He texted, "Trust me, you'll love it." Reluctantly, I agreed. Soon after, he asked detailed questions about my routine, when I left for work, which bus I took, when I got home. He said he wanted to surprise me with flowers. His tone made me uneasy. A few days later, my neighbor Mrs. Chen said she'd seen a thin man in a dark hoodie hanging around our building and staring at the windows. I thanked her and dismissed it. The next evening, I found the lock on my mailbox scratched. Following morning, I discovered muddy footprints under my bedroom window. Someone had been there. 2 nights later, during a video call, I told Marcus I wasn't ready to visit. His friendly smile twisted into frustration. He leaned forward and asked, "Why won't you trust me?" Then I heard a woman sobbing softly, in his background. My blood froze. He shut his eyes and ended the call. The next day, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "I know where you live now." I called the police. They said they needed more proof, but offered to install a patrol car on my street for a few nights. Since then, I've seen a figure across the street at night watching our windows. Mrs. Chen moved out, saying she didn't feel safe. I changed my number, deleted apps, installed extra locks, motion sensor lights, and a doorbell camera. But reviewing the footage only made me more paranoid. I replay every message and call, searching for clues I might have missed. I question my trust in every stranger who reaches out online. My friends think I'm overreacting, but they didn't hear that voice or feel my panic when I found those footprints. I still lie awake, picturing that dark room and the crying woman. Sometimes I think the police found someone at my building and never told me. Or maybe he's still out there, watching and waiting for me to let my guard down. I've considered moving, but starting over terrifies me more. Every dark corner in my apartment seems alive. If you read this, please be cautious. Online strangers may not be who they pretend to be. I've been thinking about whether I should even tell anyone this. My therapist says writing things down helps, but honestly, I'm not sure I want to remember it all again. Still, it's been eating at me for months now, and maybe if I get it out there, I can finally sleep without checking the locks 3 times every night. We moved into this house on Maple Street in October. Nothing fancy, just a regular 2-story place with white paint that was peeling a bit around the windows. The previous owners left in a hurry, which should have been my first clue. The realtor kept saying stuff like great opportunity and price to sell fast. The first week was normal. Well, mostly normal. I kept forgetting to buy light bulbs for the upstairs hallway, so it stayed pretty dark up there. My wife Sarah would always complain about it, but I kept putting it off. You know how it is. Then I started noticing the footsteps. At first, I thought it was just the house settling. Old houses make noise, right? But these weren't random creaks. They were deliberate, like someone walking back and forth in the hallway above our bedroom, always around 2 a.m. Sarah never heard them. She's a heavy sleeper, takes those melatonin pills every night. I'd lay there listening, counting the steps. 7 steps toward the bathroom, pause, 7 steps back. Every single night. I mentioned it to our neighbor Frank when he came over to borrow our lawnmower. He got this weird look on his face and changed the subject real quick. Started talking about the weather or something. That's when I knew something was up. The footsteps got louder after that conversation. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my phone flashlight and went upstairs. The hallway was freezing cold, which was strange because our heating bill was already through the roof. I walked to where I thought the sounds were coming from. That's when I saw the door. There was a door at the end of the hallway that I swear wasn't there before. I mean, I'd been up there dozens of times. How do you miss a whole door? It was painted the same white as the walls, but it was definitely there. The handle was this old brass thing, tarnished and cold to the touch. I should have woken up Sarah. I should have left it alone. But you know that feeling when you just have to know? That's what got me. The door opened to a small room, maybe 8 by 10 feet. Empty except for a single window that looked out onto our backyard. But here's the thing that still messes with my head. I could see myself down there, standing in our kitchen, making coffee. But I was upstairs. I was standing right there in that room. I watched myself move around the kitchen for maybe 5 minutes, making breakfast, reading the newspaper, doing normal morning stuff. Then Kitchen Me looked up at the window where I was standing. We made eye contact. Kitchen Me smiled and waved. I ran back to our bedroom and shook Sarah awake, told her everything, talking so fast I was stumbling over words. She thought I was having some kind of breakdown, made me promise to see a doctor. We moved out 2 weeks later, told the realtor there were structural issues or something. I never mentioned the room or what I saw. But sometimes, when I'm making a coffee in our new place, I get this feeling like someone's watching me from upstairs. And I wonder if there's another version of me somewhere, looking down from a window that shouldn't exist. Frank still texts me sometimes, says the new family that moved into our old house left after 3 days. No explanation. Just packed up and disappeared. I never text back.